I'm personally not going to do No Nut November. That sounds like a terrible waste of time. Imagine you died on the last day of November. Just before you died, you'd be like, man, why didn't I just have a wank? Time and middle of the board, a-hole here. Sunday is dumb day or fun day or, I was going to say bum day. Hey, maybe it's bum day. If you've got a bum like me, which is just massive, because some reason you store all your fat there and you got a shelf bum, you can put a beer can on it. What a great day it is to be alive. It's also the day that we do a Q&A. I say that there's no real schedule or calendar to this thing, but I asked you a bunch of questions. You very nicely asked me them. Always enjoy this. Try not to read them because it's more like, oh, what am I going to get? So let's just get into it. We start with ZT. I really hope that's your real name. People will call you Zut, like you're from the planet Schmog, whatever that is. And you say, how do you feel about gyms closing again on Thursday? Obviously, this is now Sunday. So yes, 3-4 days ago, whatever the hell it was, gyms have reclosed here in the UK. We're back in lockdown. And it sucks. It really, really sucks. It's really, really bothersome. I had to sit there for 5 minutes and just goes, okay, I'm going to be back on my floor soon with my 32s. Now, how do I feel about it? Well, I kind of feel conflicted. Now, I want to make it very clear. Health and safety is the most important thing in the world. I don't want to die, right? There's nothing more important than life and death, so you have to put that first. But it is very difficult when you go into the science behind it and you go into the statistics and you read that the actual infection rate in gyms is really low. Like, it is really low because people are taking care of themselves, they're cleaning up after themselves, they're socially distancing. In my gym, we wear masks and there's pods and everything, so you can separate yourself, right? And the windows are open, so on and so forth. And they're just closing them. And the reason they're closing them, in my humble opinion, is because it's easier just to do a blanket, right, everything is shutting down, than actually look at it sector by sector. Again, just my opinion, how I see it. And that kind of irks me. It kind of pisses me off because we're not thinking about mental health. We're not thinking about staying in shape when we're trying to fight a flipping virus. So yeah, it does. It grinds my gears, but ultimately there's nothing I can do about it. And I could sit here and I could moan, I could go on Twitter, but again, I'm not going to get anywhere. I'm not going to get anywhere. So what I will do is I will take what I can do, which is my 232s, and for the next month or so, I'll just train as hard as I possibly can. Will I lose some size? Probably. Am I going to be able to train as well in the gym? No, but can I still bring the intensity? Absolutely. And that's always the key. Like, no matter where you are, as long as you have some kind of resistance you can use, even if it's just your body weight, you can get a good workout as long as you approach it in the right way. With all that said, I'm terrified. Strange Man, I guess you are a strange man, says, would you rather be skinny or obese, and what's your favorite cheat meal? It's a really difficult question because in my head, no, you'd want to be skinny. I lie, because you said the word obese. I was thinking of overweight, and then you can wear a jumper and maybe you look quite big. If you're obese, A, your health's going to be in trouble and you're never going to feel comfortable. Whereas if you're just a skinny dude, you're just a skinny dude. And I think probably more times out of not, you're going to be happy. So I'm going to pick skinny. But obviously, ultimately, I want a He-Man physique. Who doesn't want a He-Man physique? In terms of my favorite cheat meal, easy. Nachos, pizza, ice cream. Becky Elizabeth says, hi Simon, thank you for the information in all your videos. It has really motivated me to start the process of losing weight and it's already made me feel happier. Absolutely love it. My question is, I have been going to the gym, but with a personal trainer. I just wanted to ask for advice on going to the gym on my own as I have been nervous to do so. Sorry if this question doesn't make sense. Of course it makes sense. Gym intimidation, intimidation is the number one reason people don't go to the gym. I have this conversation with people a lot. They're like, I'd love to go to the gym, but I'm really, really scared. Of course you are. The first time you do anything, you're going to be scared. The first time you go to school, the first time you get a haircut, the first time you go to a new job, because you don't have a comfortability there. It's completely brand new to your brain, and you have to make up your own routine and your own rules and get used to your surroundings. So unfortunately, maybe for the first 2 times, you've just got to force yourself to go, but do that with the knowledge that nobody is judging you, no one cares what you're doing in a positive sense, and anybody that does, everybody else thinks that they're the asshole, because the gym is just for you. I know other people inhabit it, but when you're in there, it's just for you, right? You're in competition with yourself, you're doing your lifts, nobody knows what your program is, no one knows what you're going after. So again, of course it's going to feel a little bit oogly-boogly, but with the confidence that your oogly-boogliness is completely like surrounded by you, like it's your own little shield, and nobody else is even worrying about you. Hopefully that will just give you a little bit more pep in your step to go to the gym. Bradley Brandel says, what's your favorite character from South Park, Simon? Easy, Randy Marsh. The Ultimate E says, do you see yourself becoming a personal trainer after your in-ring career? Well, my in-ring career is on massive hold right now thanks to lockdown. No, I don't think personal training is my calling. I love lifting weights and I love giving out information. I love having conversations with people. And I probably would like to train the odd few people. I think that would be great, but I don't think I'd want to do it as my day to day. I think you'd get some clients that just weren't putting the time in, but still expected the results. And eventually, I think that would wind me up. I'm pretty hard to be wound up, but I think eventually I'd just be facepalm like, dude, do you not understand how this works? So, no, personal training is not for me, but luckily there's some tremendous personal trainers out there holding up the fort. MMD Gaming says, what games do you currently play, want to play? Are you plan on doing more streams, game-related content? Yes, so games I'm playing at the moment, am I allowed to say this? I don't know. Yeah, I can. Dirt 5. Oh, it's so good. It's really, really good. In terms of stuff that I want to do in the future with gaming, twitch.tv/SimonThe316. I'm definitely going to start streaming on there again soon. I also may set up another YouTube channel just called Simon Miller Gaming, where I just crap out a load of gaming content as and when I feel like it. I'm still umming and erring. If I do that, I tell you. I know there's not a great bigger demand, but I do have a lot to talk about games. I don't have an outlet. I don't want to do it here anymore because we did the Xbox unboxing video, and I think it just would have been better in the right place. Like, I'm overjoyed this has become a fitness what do you want to call it, environment. So, I don't know. Maybe. Think about it. Vicebreaker717 says, favorite wrestling match from 2020? Oh, that's a really, really hard question. I mean, the Boneyard match doesn't really count as a wrestling match. It's probably not even my favorite. We'll mention Stadium Stampede. In terms of a proper wrestling match, I think the one that ultimately made me react the most was Walter versus Ilya Dragunov. That happened on NXT UK all but a week ago as I'm recording this. But overall, I'm going to go with... I have no idea. Chris Penner says, hey Simon, what exercises make you feel like a badass in the gym? For me, it's overhead press. Pressing something above your head just feels so cool. I would double down on that. I think you are correct. I like bicep cable curls. Don't know why. I guess because you can just go like that and be like, yeah, I got biceps. Deadlifts are number one. Deadlifts are number one. I love the simplicity of it. You know, how can you pick up this really, really heavy weight? When you do it, you have to, put all the intensity in. It makes you feel great afterwards. You get a great pump. I think deadlifts are probably one of the best exercises ever. Charles Chapman says, when you did your bodybuilding show, what was the part of your day that you look forward to the most? I'm finding I appreciate certain parts of my day, the leaner that I get. So do you mean on the day of my show or when I was preparing? On the day of the show, it was the pizza I had afterwards. Not gonna lie at all. In terms of, the best thing when you're training for a bodybuilding competition is when you've gone to the gym, even though you're utterly depleted and you feel like crap. It's hard to get a pump because you're so low on carbs. When you do get a pump and you come home, it's just awesome because you've got such low body fat and because obviously all the blood's gone to your muscles, you're just like, man, I'd like to look like this all the time but not feel as bad as I'm feeling now. And I see pictures of myself now, actually. I do look quite small, which sounds kind of a weird, but I guess, again, that's what happens when you get shredded and it's difficult to try and maintain muscle. But I took a lot of pictures. I'm not a guy that I'd take a lot of pictures. We've talked about that before. But for my own personal collection, which sounds really dodgy and really creepy and really sleazy, I did take loads of pictures. And sometimes I look at them and I'm just like... yeah. Mika Leone says, thoughts on No Nut November and how it can affect your lifts, obviously. I didn't know what No Nut November was, so I had to go and research it. It is essentially when you don't masturbate or have sex or ejaculate for the longevity of November. It's like that Seinfeld thing with the contest, which Kramer loses in, 20 seconds? Great episode. I don't think it would have a massive effect on your lifts. It depends, really. You could argue it both ways. It's not like you masturbate or you ejaculate and all of a sudden all your testosterone goes, and this is disgusting, and lands on the table. But I guess, also you may be more frustrated. Maybe you'd have more energy. I don't know. I think if it's going to make any difference either way, it's going to be 0.2%. So it doesn't make a difference. I'm personally not going to do No Nut November. That sounds like a terrible waste of time. Imagine you died on the last day of November. Just before you died, you'd be like, man, why didn't I just have a wank? Electronic Punk says, how do you progressively overload on isolation exercises? It's not easy to keep upping the weight as it is on compounds. Well, yeah, weight is going to be the obvious one, but progressive overload isn't just about increasing weight, don't forget. If you're doing 8 reps and you increase to 9 reps, that's progressive overload. If your form was a little bit shaky, but then you tidy up your form and you know the 8 reps you did the following week are better than the ones you did the prior week, to me, that's progressive overload. It's whatever you can do to ensure that your workout was benefit and more productive than last time. Shout out to Greg Doucette. So that's it, really. So if you're doing machine press, a bench press machine, and you are on 90 kilograms, but you can't go up to 95, usually it goes up in 5, and you did those 10 reps, just make sure you do 11, 12 reps next time. Maybe you fight harder on the negative rep. It's not always about weight. You've got to be creative sometimes when it comes to the gym. Just figure out ways to ensure that every next session you have is more productive and you're on your way. That's it. Dominic Wiles says, what was your first gym experience like? I've just joined my first one today after watching a number of your videos. I love that. Awesome. Big thank you for the confidence to up my game from home workouts to longer gym sessions. Keep up the positive vibes, man. That's the coolest thing in the world to think that happened. So I got kind of two first gym experiences because my first one, my mate was a couple of years older than me. I was 16 years old. He was going to an 18-only gym and he stuck me in, but it wasn't the best, right? It was really, really small. It had like 6 machines in it, but for me, who had never been, I was like, oh my gosh, it's like Candyland. So my first proper gym experience, when I got the same intimidation that you did, is I went to a gym in Luton called Power Bodies, Ultra Bodies, something like that, and it was just full of huge guys. And I mean huge, huge guys. It's something like professional bodybuilders. I'm sure if I saw them now, they weren't that big, but in my head, they were. And they kind of hazed me a little bit and they intimidated me a little bit because they didn't want anybody in their gym that wasn't serious about it. And I was, and eventually they left me be. But yeah, my first gym experience in that sense was crazy. Talking about what we talked about earlier, crazy intimidating. I remember being outside and broing it, and you go in there, that's not that big a deal. I don't know why I got myself so worked up, but you do. And I thought I had to look a certain way, and I thought I had to train a certain way, but you really, really, really don't. Especially now, fitness has become so popular that you can walk into any gym and there'll be 1,000 people, unfortunately, you can't just use the machine that you want, that you can just exist in your own space. But yes, it was the same for me. It's the same for everyone. Anyone that tells you I walked into the gym and I just smashed it, no, they didn't. They're making up for something else. Phil the Draft says, maybe what body fat percentage to be at before starting a bulk or cut. I like that maybe you've just thrown in there. There's no right or wrong. You want a figure, but there's no right or wrong. If you're 25%, yes, then maybe probably it's time to start shredding before you start bulking. But if you're 18, 17, it's completely up to you. There are no rules, right? If you are super high body fat, I always just say, and you're not going to the gym, I always just say, focus on losing the excess fat first and then start building the muscle. I mean, you can start doing some weight training, but I think it's just easier to attack it in phases. But otherwise, just when you feel, look in the mirror. How do you feel? Do you want to lose some fat? Do you want to put on some size? Follow your body, follow your brain, and you'll find when you need to be. Christian Potato, and I think it's actually a Christian Potato in the picture, which is amazing. Which one would you choose? Never eat your favorite junk cheat meals again, or never work out again? Well, I would never choose never work out again. So never, the joy that I get from eating crap, and I get a lot of joy from it, does not come anywhere close to the joy I get from the gym. The gym is my favorite thing in the world. If the gym was taken away from me, I don't know what I'd do. Like someone asked me a question years ago, oh, Miller, music or the gym? I was like, I don't know how I'd exist. I'd probably just stop existing. I'd just collapse on the floor like that, like a potato, because I need music and I need gyms. And there are other things too, but they keep me alive, those things, as stupid and cheesy as it sounds. So you can take your pizza and stick it up your ass. Shouldn't have said it. Speed Sloth says, has anyone ever in the gym recognized you from your videos and approached you? Yes, they have. And I'm always massively humbled and I am massively flattered by it. In fact, nothing makes my day more than somebody coming up and saying it. I kind of sit there and I feel like, oh man, that's really, really cool. And I really, really do love it. A tweet I did, at Simon3116, cheap plug, 316. A tweet the other day and I got misconstrued when I was making a joke that when you have headphones on and people come and go, and they talk into your face. You're like, dude, come on now. Give me some kind of hand signal so I know. Otherwise, you're just wasting your breath. And somebody misconstrued that as, oh, Simon doesn't want to talk to people that recognize him in the gym. Right. 1, I never expect to be recognized because I'm not an arrogant maniac. That would be a really weird thing to do. 2, I was just referring to the fact that it's annoying because I can't hear what you're saying. So, yeah, if you ever do see me and you want to come say hello, please do. I can't believe that's even the thing we're able to talk about. I'm a blessed guy, but it has happened. It's happened for the what culture stuff I do, and as of late, it's been happening for the gym stuff I do, which I never thought would be the case. But somebody came up to me, and at first I thought, more fool me, that they were watching the wrestling stuff, and they actually said, oh, your gym videos, I find them really, really good. And again, you couldn't have taken the smile off my face that day. It really is one of the coolest things ever. There we go, done, pow! Another Q&A in the books. I appreciate it. Keep an eye on the community tab in a couple of weeks, and we'll do more. Otherwise, like the video, share the video, subscribe to my channel when that number goes up. It makes me feel alive. Hit that notification button so you know when other videos are going up. I got a Patreon, I got a Twitter, I got an Instagram. If you want to contribute to those, the links are in the description, as is merch, simonmiller.bigcartel.com. Otherwise, click the video on the screen if you want to watch more and continue on with your Simon Miller Fitness YouTube journey. And if not, I'll see you soon.